I dream of it. Amongst the wild threads of history and the myriad of paths. My path saw the Imperium rise from the ashes left in the wake of the Great Revolt.
Reveal yourself. Hello again.
Oh, hey there, friend.
Welcome. Would you like to deposit or withdraw Solaris?
You have applied an augmentation to your weapon, yes? Show me the result of your work.
Report on the deep desert. Murder's noise. Cargo is signal. What kind of high value? Let me see it. Huh. Yes, I recognize some of these names. Tell me what you see. Possibly, but everyone's always angling for something. It doesn't mean it's worth chasing. Anything else? Coincidentally, I have a seat at a banquet with Phaedra Vi, and several others listed on that manifest. I'll gather what I can there. You go back to Phaedra's apartment. That note might be our next key.
I've been trying to say this for weeks. Carthag, you want the truth? I was hired to fix a problem, quietly. A man hiding in a blind shadow wanted something buried. No noise, no survivors. I helped him, mapped fault lines, tuned residents, knew exactly what would happen. They paid me, gave me a new collar, a title I never earned. Carthag fell. You see, Ash. I laid the tracks. When the train came, I looked away. The nightmares weren't fire or screams, they're silence. Before I could have said no. Now it's inside me. The rot. I drink, I drunk, I would sleep. Take this, sell it, burn it. Just remember, someone knew, even if I don't tomorrow. The two men say first silence, then dust, then wings in the dark. I used to think it was poetry. Now, it feels like a countdown.
It's part 1 of 5 Days at Carthage. The Imperial Scenarist Guild has been provided unfettered access to the sealed records and testimonies of those who survived the Carthag incident. The following dramatization represents the official truth, as judged and signed by the Imperial Chamber Court and Audit Council. So let us journey then to the burning sands of Arrakis, a desert planet in a far-flung corner of the known universe. The year is 10-1-94, and the war of assassins between House Atreides and their ancient enemy House Harkonnen is well underway. Our tale unfolds in the teeming industrial space.
Oh, hey there, friend. Looking for anything special? That's not normally a good eye trade-in. I'm more hands-on. Already told you I don't deal. That's unfortunate. I shouldn't say. It's not good business. It's not safe. Damn, I've got an answer, but you aren't going to like it. Phaedra was part of a little cabal who collectively had a stash of treasure they took out of old Carthag before it blew. Last to live takes the pot. Phaedra was making desperate trades to get the funds to retrieve her ancestral necklace. Well, anything could happen in that nest of covetous snakes. As not the sort of thing you spill over afternoon tea, is it? I suppose you'll be catching up with him then and leaving in a hurry, huh?
That's not your door to open, stranger. Push it, and you'll find I'm harder to move than most. And by order of the Emperor, I'm telling you to slow your gallop. There's nothing for you inside. I am the Sheriff of Arakeen, and the only uniform I wear is this sword and belt. Of course, you're welcome to test whether I'm dressed for the job or not. I found my reputation and steel tend to speak louder than epaulets. Fast or slow, I don't think you're gonna get much chatter out of them inside. They're all dead. We've got one survivor, technically. Old bird's flapping her wings on the way down. But she'll land soon enough. Tours at a party. Well, there goes the mood. All right then, since you're so worked up over it, I could use help matching faces to masks, and if you already know some of these silk-wrapped corpses, all the better. Good. That saves us a few hours of corpse roulette. A few of these poor fools I already recognize by build or reputation. The rest you and your list can help with. It's my job to know who's whispering in the shadows. This crew kept to themselves. Rich, quiet, and just strange enough to raise my... I've had files on half of them since they landed. I mean, they didn't dine with the Atreides, didn't show up in the salons, and never hosted anyone outside their circle. Came down on private carriers, quiet ones. No welcome party, no flag waving. When nobles start behaving like spies, I start watching like one. These little gatherings weren't new. Masquerades are not. Same crowd, same vices. Wine, secrets, and shouting matches dressed up as witty banter. Masks just gave them an excuse to say the quiet parts out loud. If by regular you mean secretive, paranoid, and always 3 drinks deep in betrayal, then yes, absolutely. Something they were hiding in the deep desert. Could have been a spiritual retreat, could have been a treasure hunt. All I know is they were tight-lipped going out, and even tighter coming back. Anyhow, enough jawing. Let me get a look. Appreciate it. Call her Countess if you like. I call her the last shriveled thorn on a dead branch. Sharp tongue, sharper memory. Don't be fooled by the frailty. She can still draw blood with a whisper. The butler saw things. Doesn't rattle easy. You do well to speak with him before the details slip through the cracks. See what the butler and the old hawk have to say. After that, come find me. I'll be the one holding this city together.
Oh, splendid. An audience. I was beginning to worry I'd die without one. Countess? Did you just address me as Countess? Did he now? How sweet. That sun-scalded half-breed always did mean well, even if he has the conversational grace of a bricked-up cellar. Do I look like some lace-draped provincial with a grain tithe and a hobby kennel? I'm a Marchioness, you ignorant little envelope. Alert the criers. We have discovered a pleb who can take instruction. I was Eulalia Hawthorne, Marchioness, Patroness, and now I'm just the ghost of better parties and work tours. No, thank the stars. Another bureaucrat sniffing around. Precisely the kind of dull company I avoid. Hands off, you clod! You'll tear my face away. No, I'm still wearing it because it goes with my dress. Of course it's stuck. There are tiny barbed claws secreted within the mask. I saw Una Byrne try to remove it, and half her face came away before she fainted. Idiot. The wine merely opened the door, but it was the masks that let death inside. Poison in the wine, poison in the mask. One to loosen the soul, one to pierce it. A double dose for double crossers. Leave the mask alone. Because betrayal is their native tongue, dear. I watched them turn coats faster than courtiers shed morals. First for survival, then for sport. Let's just say, when money and memory are tied to the same grave, the living, by all means. What happened? Fashion suicide, mainly. Graf Vero died smiling, the fool. Spilled his wine and his wit in equal measure. I do admire a man who keeps his mask up. Graf Ansel Vero. A bloated tick in a borrowed title. He died as he lived. Loud, ridiculous, and surrounded by people pretending to like him. Blue. A coward's color. Fitting, really. He always did flee when anything required a thing. Darling, the Graf was barely a man, let alone a thing. He once tried to kiss my hand and missed. I took it as a sign. Turns out my precious toxin modulator works. Slows the venom, preserves the drama. I'll die last, bloated with envy and resentment. Just how they'd want me. Oh, do not ruin this for me. I want to die with some shred of mystery, not flanked by bumbling concern. One last kindness, dear. My Mauler. Kill them all. They'll spend my death pawing through jewelry and gossiping in the kitchen if you don't. It's a tradition, you know. The servants die with the mistress. Mostly forgotten now. Like manners and decency. But I rather like it. Please, kill the little wretches. Choke the life out of them before they sell my underthings for drink. By the time your little report, perhaps they'll read it at my memorial, just after the appetizers.
Let's have it. No blood or teeth marks. Good. Consider yourself formally initiated into the losing end of noble etiquette. She talked to you, didn't she? That's more than most get. See, that's where you got it twisted. That woman's got venom for blood, and a title where her heart should be. She talked because you annoyed her. Snapped her right out of that death spiral by reminding her just how much she hates lizard-browed provincials like us. Call it a success. You woke up the part of her brain still capable of sneering. The question is, did you learn anything? Well, that's a wrinkle. Did the old bird say what color mask he was wearing? Back where I'm from, yellow marks a coward. But nobility tends to mistake fear for wisdom and wear it like gold. So find the wine stain next to a blue mask and you found our graph. We can work backwards from there. Of course he did. Might want to run that scanner of yours. Find out where the wine hit the floor. Then we'll have our starting point. Bold choice bringing a discount snooper to a high-born massacre. Still, pointed at the mess. Might surprise us both. Sort out where the graph ended up. Then we'll talk. Let's have it. Let's hear it. First prize to the junior investigator. That fits the evidence. A can of pressed slig. It's good on toast. 5 cans of pressed slig. The man chose his agent well. Always does, though. Well, meanwhile, I came up with 2 names of my own. 8 masked assholes dead on the floor. Drank their guilt, now they'll sin no more. Haven't had the pleasure yet today. Speak to Theophilus about Agade Yamari. That's what the note says. I suggest you find out what our buttoned-up friend knows before he forgets. Our resident astronomia-trained butler, Theophilus. You know, I heard a funny story about that school. Makes the best of the best servants, they say. But I heard in their final year, the students are paired off in twos and taught to observe each other obsessively. One of them graduates, the other disappears. It's never explained which is which.
Do forgive the mess. They died as they lived, loudly and with abysmal table manners. Butler to the late lordlings of this doomed affair. My talents include wine pairing, corpse counting, and feigning deference. It began as a toast, ended as a cautionary tale. You may pick whichever part offends you the least. It's simple. Wine was poured, conversation flowed. Then, so did the convulsions. She was prone to a serious allergic reaction to a species of plant in our flower arrangement. She wished to sit as far away from it as possible. A common reaction to that particular flower. The wealthy chose aesthetic over practicality or safety. It's a wonder we can keep any of them alive. Alas, nothing pains me more than being unable to do your job for you. But I do not recall. I merely changed his seating arrangement prior to the gathering. I regret to say that the seating arrangement was the casualty of a wine-spilling incident by someone already deep in their cups.
Let's have it. Then let's have it. I'd say it's more of a Zaffrey violet, but that seems to align with my conclusions. Good work. I figured out one more. That snooper thing of yours chirped like it knows something? Well done, friend. While you were nosing around, I confirmed that the caskets themselves were not poisoned. Meaning... That's exactly correct. Someone doctored the vino after it was delivered. Always nice when the killer's polite enough to attend their own. Turns out the wine was arranged by a man named Ambrose Lucifera. Fancy name for a glorified errand boy. I had him dragged in. Now's the time to go poke holes in his story.
Please do me the courtesy of telling me why I am being detained. What's the charge? Supplying wine to a banquet? A decadent Arakeen banquet? Oh, balderdash, this is becoming intolerable. You've turned a juicy murder plot into something tedious. How could I possibly be involved with... Who did you say was murdered? Well, now, see here. I merely arranged for the wine to be delivered. Everyone knows I have a knack for finding the best. These sealed bottles were poisoned. Oh, well, there you have it. I took no involvement in their glassware, merely in arranging for the reception of a very fine vintage. A rare vintage from the planet of Grenbel, home of the exquisite Maros deer. A libation so fine, even the most domineering Chussock snob would weep. Why, yes, any of the staff of the Seleucid Bull, as well as a few of the regulars, can attest to my presence. My debauching is quite conspicuous. Do forgive my sharp tone, but have you become a complete cockwomble? It was you who set out to poison me. If anything, our history marks you as the more compelling suspect. I've let bygones be bygones, so mayhaps we let this line of reasoning die. Oh, goody, goody. With that unpleasantness out of the way, is there anything I can do to aid you in your... And now we are back to a morbidly fun game. Proceed. Could you be more specific on the colors of the pattern? That would be Lady Eulalia, voice like grinding rusty metal, but fancied herself a preeminent singer, with few in a position to tell her otherwise. Many were the laborious recitals we sat through. Still, she made an impression. Before you go, I did pass on a note to one of the guests. You'd have to ask Theopolis about the recipient. Roella Ramsby. She inquired about a particular vintage of wine, feigning expertise, but that woman wouldn't know Amontillado from sherry.
Oh joy, you've returned. That name does not mean anything to me, but I will endeavor. On behalf of whom? Ah, yes, the drunken peacock. The man dresses like a walking dessert tray and talks like he's auditioning for a play no one asked for. What would you call him? Now that you mention it, I did. The recipient was a woman wearing a terracotta-colored mask. Correct. Afraid so.
Let's have it. Very good. Was he still crying? Don't keep me in suspense now. Good instinct. Keep pulling at threads. Well, all right. Let's hear what you've turned up. Yes, that fits. Another off the list. Let's see here. If Ruella Ramsby was there, that means the other terracotta has to be... two masked assholes dead on the floor. Guess the toast hit harder than they bargained for. Calm yourself. We'll get there soon enough. Gotta build suspense. One of the remaining two guests is Lady Bianca Baghetti, a puffed-up hanger-on from a disgraced minor house. That means the last dead asshole is... Sub-Prefect Tors. No, I mean Tors is here. Good afternoon, Sub-Prefect.
There you are. Report. Don't look so slack-jawed. Who else were you expecting? I was delayed. A pity. Perhaps I might have averted this... unpleasantness. A grisly thought. One I've already entertained. They are no more my people than you are. I watch them as Fenring commands, though their antics hardly inspire admiration. What manifest? Carthag. There it is. Motive. The killer is eliminating the survivors of old Carthag one by one. Revenge. Concealment. Or the quiet removal of a dangerous truth that could unpick alliances from here to Kaitane. Indeed. And if you've a name for the hand that signed that order, now would be the time to share it. There it is. Motive, opportunity, and means. Our assassin isn't merely killing, they're closing the book on Carthag. Yes. And how do you suggest I handle this? What have you learned of their methods? Then having failed here, where is our ghost's next haunt? Then I must go. To catch a killer. Don't be a fool. One sight of you and our ghost, as you call it, will vanish. Better you leave them to me. Yes, well, I never much cared for Cheops. There's nothing here. The killer saw us coming. Now the trail is cold, and we're going to have to report our failure to Count Fenring. You've been an adequate assistant. I'll put it all in my report. You can leave now and report back to whoever it is you report to. Stop! In spite of everything, the Master still wants you alive. To fulfill your mission. Find the Fremen. Wake the sleeper. I still recognize you. Even with this face. Even with this flesh. You move like you always did. Smile like you always did. Don't follow me. I have a mission of my own.
And if you get in my way, I'll put you down. We can always grow you again, after all.
of House Harkonnen.
You're back from Arakeen. Rumor is that it was a bloodbath. Report. No. Without other orders, you report to me. Tell me what happened in Arakeen. A face dancer? I've heard of them, kitten, but never expected to have to deal with one. What did it want? Revenge? For what? Perhaps, kitten. The destruction of old Carthag was a catalyst for many changes on Arrakis. Who knows what sparked it? But come now. I've heard nothing of a captured face dancer in Arakeen, so I assume the creature is dead. I see. So one of the Count's best men is dead, and the killer has escaped. I like you, kitten, but this is a failure. The Count will not be pleased. I will pull my network and try to find out where this creature went. I will confer with our employer and contact you when I have more information.
Finally. I've been trying to find a moment to contact you, but Mother is relentless. Luckily, she's distracted by a social event, so I can get out of the palace for a few hours. Can you meet me at the Seleucid Ball in Arakeen? Same table as last time.
Can't get...
finally. You have no idea how frustrating it's been. Trying to find a moment to get away from my insufferable mother and... I'm sorry. Now, tell me what happened in Old Carthag. Shh. I should have warned you. Father has tightened up security since our mutual friend was spotted here last. Don't mention him. Don't say his name. Either of them. Thufir Hawat has eyes and ears everywhere. Almost certainly. Thufir Hawat even has men who can read lips in case of a cone of silence. But don't worry. Thufir has certainly judged you to not be a threat. Else you wouldn't be talking to me at all. Now, tell me about Old Carthag. What did you find there? The Bennett Flealags. But what could they possibly want here? And why this obsession with finding the Fremen? And that recording we decoded. The sleeper. Why would the Bennett Flealags send you after him? Stilgar was a leader among the Fremen. Duncan Idaho made diplomatic contact with him before we came to Arrakis. I remember that meeting. I thought Gurney was going to start a war when Stilgar spat at my father. It's a sign of respect amongst the Fremen. Duncan had to explain it, but Stilgar... a hard man. As hard as this planet. He disappeared with the rest of the Fremen. If he is alive, I wouldn't even know where to start. And in return, they sent you after him. That might be the case, but it doesn't help much, does it? We still haven't found the Fremen, and we don't know where the sleeper... I've always felt there was something special about you. But what about you? Does it bother you? I understand. It isn't so very different to me. How much of what I do is my mother and her training. I could have ended this war. The reality is that I am in no position to judge anybody. Do you remember the last time we met here? And I saw somebody at the bar? His name is Fade Rotha, the Gnaw Baron of House Harkonnen. My betrothed. All I have to do is accept it. Marry the dashing nobleman. And all of this strife can end. My mother wants it. My father, well, he will accept it. But I can't. I can't bring myself to do it. And it isn't because of Fade Rotha at all. He's actually very charming, in spite of what he did to that bull. It's because I want to choose. So believe me when I say that I would never judge you because of who or what you were. I could end this war tomorrow, and I won't do it. That's who I am. And perhaps there is a way to figure out who you were. I have an idea, but no, it's probably... This won't be like exploring dusty sietches or labs full of abominations. This will be going up against Mother. So much worse. With luck, she'll never know. If I can sneak you into the archives beneath the Residency, we can search for your bloodline. Best not to give too many details. We're being watched, remember? Bring this token to Liane. She's one of the guards on the barricade outside the Residency. She'll bring you inside, and I'll find you there. If I want...
Hail, citizen. Have you come to gawk at the plus great wonder that is the Arakeen residency? Eri gave you this. You? Oh, look, never mind. She told me to bring you inside. And to make sure her mother didn't find out. But before we go, let me tell you a few things. I'll be taking all your weapons and your clothes. Don't be alarmed. I have a servant's outfit for you to wear. You'll blend right in. Come on then. Let's get you undressed.
Tonight, my parents are holding a banquet, and Count Fenring and his lady are the guests of honor. Mother wishes me to shine like a jewel for all to see. I think she's forgotten what Lady Fenring looks like if she expects anybody in the room to be looking at me. But enough. We need to go. The banquet is the perfect distraction. I'll keep my parents focused on the party. You can sneak into the archives. But we need to go. Now. Just a moment. That's it then. Make your way to the lower levels. The guards on the upper floors will probably just throw you out if they spot you. It gets trickier on the lower levels. You'll see. I'll keep in contact over the net, and when I can, I'll catch up to you. You need to stay out of sight. The troopers in the upper archives are good people. Don't hurt them. Get to the lower archives as quickly and quietly as you can. A lot of memories down here. 10,000 years of recorded Arakeen history. Mother made me spend hours down here studying. I used to carve answers into the tables to help me pass her tests. The letters I carved into those tables. Pay attention. The Bene Gesserit have an archive of their own, buried in the lowest levels. The symbols I used to carve are the order of the test.
Is someone there? Identify yourself.
Wish me luck. I'm about to start mingling with the guests. Count Fenring is here. I can't abide that weasel of a man. Father says he is a deadly fighter, but he hides it beneath that mumbling veneer. Just be glad you aren't stuck at this banquet.
Here we see a Fremen
One of the
native,
buttes,
as it
a
once
water
appeared
shipper
when
is
they roamed
pawing
the
at a
dunes of
banker's
Arrakis.
daughter.
Note
This
the
could end in a
still
duel
suit
if it
of his front
escalates.
border. Though recent events have seen him ahead, his Now let us shift our gaze from the past to the present as we witness history in the making. Here stands Duke Leto Atreides, and rightful ruler of Arrakis.
You still moving? The staircase to the lower archives is guarded. You'll need to distract them. Just keep it simple. Too much, and they'll call for others to help them investigate.
Though a cursory look at Arrakis seems to reveal an environment completely inhospitable to life, the desert planet is home to a surprising array of flora and fauna. Perhaps the most emblematic representation of the unlikely tenacity of life is the kangaroo house, or monkey, in Jakarta. This species of crocodiles changes microenvironments. But thrive on Arrakis. This little creature lives in sandy desert trails.
You might have trouble hearing my signal in the lower archives. The stone interferes. Down there, it's more like a catacomb than a library. The history of 10,000 years moldering in the darkness. No human guards, but the glow globes have motion sensors and automated alarms. Don't let them see you. If you get too deep in the archives, we might lose contact. Keep moving forward, and I'll join you as soon as I can slip away. Can you hear me? If you can, listen. Do not try to find the entrance to the Bloodline Archive. I will come to you. There is a Solido projection and a deadly trap. Be careful. I'll slip away as soon as I can. When you... The lights are sensors. Careful not to disturb the forged stones.
External cognitive agent detected. Full sister authorization not present. Proceeding with limited access heuristic. Welcome, Acolyte, to Relay Node Seraph 1. This system archives the seeded vectors of the Mahdi prophecy, dispersed through oral tradition channels among desert tribes. Contained data is restricted. Decryption requires demonstrated comprehension of cultural vectors and myth-seeding protocols. Begin myth sequence verification. You will be tested on the illusions we crafted. Virtues rewarded, evils punished, love earned through valor, myths all. Your task is not to believe. Your task is to see. Question 1. What lie did we craft to make tyrants seem temporary, monsters forgivable, and systems of punishment appear enlightened? A hopeful creed, yet insufficient to explain why monsters are forgiven and brutal systems endure. You have failed to meet the standard of comprehension required. Begin myth-seek. You will be your task. Question 1. What lie did we craft to make tyrants seem correct? Unnecessary fiction. One that spares tyrants and executioners from their guilt. Question 2. Isolate the myth designed to sustain hope through deferred justice and moral inevitability. A useful myth, yes, but not one that binds evil to consequence. Pattern inconsistent. Begin myth sequence, then you will be your Question 1. Correct. Question 2. Isolate the myth designed to sustain hope through deferred justice and a pleasing envy. But not the pattern inconsistent. Begin myth. You will be your Question 1. Correct. Question 2. Correct. The dream of inevitable justice. Woven so the Question 3. What lie did we whisper in incense and shadow that cloaked us in mystery and made obedience feel like awe? That comfort was meant for the obedient, not the powerful. Neural Begin myths. You will be your task. Question 1. Correct. Question 2. Correct. Question 3. What a pleasing story for the poor. Neural cadence in. Begin myth sequence. You will be your task. Question 1. Correct. Question 2. Correct. Question 3. Honesty. A fine tool. But truth was never the neural cadence. Begin myths. You will be your task. Question 1. Correct. Question 2. Correct. Question 3. Correct. Question 4. What illusion did we embed in the myth of sacrifice, so that the broken would praise the blade that cut them? A salve for survivors, but not the key that turned. You have failed to begin myth. You will be your task. Question 1. Correct. Question 2. Correct. Question 3. Correct. Question 4. What illusion did we embed in the myth? A charming fiction to soften hierarchy. You have failed. Begin myth. Begin myth seek. You will be your task is question 1. Correct. Question 2. Correct. Question 3. Correct. Question 4. What illusion? Correct. The masterstroke of consolation. We taught them their pain was part of a plan, so they would not rise against its authors. You have spoken the illusions as we planted them. Few recognize them for what they are. Fewer still understand why they were necessary. Missionaria records unlocked. Proceed with caution. The weight of revelation is heavier than ignorance.
If I'd known you would get down here this fast, I'd have insulted the guild banker a lot sooner. Mother thinks I'm sulking in my room while she soothes their egos. Father's trying to talk to the good count and his lady, which involves a great deal of patience as Fenring mumbles and murmurs his way through a sentence. Well, I calculate we have a couple of hours before someone comes looking for me. Let's go and find out who you are. Or were? Exciting. One thing you can say about the Bene Gesserit, they don't think the word forbidden applies to them. Spectacular, isn't it? It's impressive that they managed to hide this down here for 10,000 years. Of course, I imagine the breeding matrix that they have at the chapter house is much more impressive. This one is simply a copy. Still, it has access to the complete bloodline registry of the entire Imperium. We can search for who you were.
Acolyte Aristae Atreides. Welcome. What is the nature of your inquiry?
Bloodline search.
Insert blood sample into receptacle. Processing.
Feels like we always end up here. You bleeding to further our cause. I've always hated this place. Since my mother explained to me my great destiny. A broodmare for their plans. No choice. No love. The future is a trap. I want to be free to choose.
Search complete. Information on this bloodline is restricted to Reverend Mothers.
Restricted? By whom?
Details of the Xanavar incident are classified for the security of the Imperium.
The security of the Imperium? What does that even mean?
It means that some secrets are too dangerous for petulant girls.
Truthsayer Jessica and Truthsayer Margot. Welcome. What is the nature of your inquiry?
Shut down. Daughter, this place is not for the uninitiated. Who have you brought here?
My friend, Mother. One who shares my fascination for the Fremen. We were doing genealogical work and wanted to test some samples.
Stop. Your lies are disappointing. The act of lying is one thing, but the tone, the voice control. Have you forgotten your training? If you want to lie to me, daughter, then lie to me.
Lie? To you? Like you lied to me about the betrothal? Like you lied to Father? It seems the only thing the Sisterhood has taught you is how to lie. This is my friend. Someone I'm trying to help. Someone who I trust. That is no lie.
I see. A friend. Perhaps a confidant. Maybe even a lover. Stand aside, Aristae. I want to ask your friend some questions. Like who they are, and what they want with you.
There's no need for this, Jessica. I know this one. It works for my husband. Quite the skilled assassin, if what Casimir told me is true. Why, Casimir even told me that it killed Zantara the lion. Stabbed him in the back.
No. No. That isn't true. It can't be true.
Master your emotions, girl. And look. She is telling the truth. Aristae. I would have shielded my daughter from this pain. But perhaps in time it will help her to overcome weakness. For you, though, a quick death will be your mercy.
Sister, please. My husband still has a use for this weapon.
Very well, sister. You. If I ever see you near my daughter again, there will be no second chances. Aristae is to be left alone. Do you understand this? Then prepare yourself.